Do you live in a condo or townhouse governed by a homeowners association and the HOA is not taking care of the common areas appropriately? Check out this video to find what you should do. Hi, Barry here with the LawFull channel. On this channel, you're going to find short videos on the legal topics that affect your life, like this one on real estate law. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me. If I can't help you, I'll find someone who can. So I am in downtown Chicago again today with real estate attorney Junilla Sledziewski, and we are discussing another real estate topic that I think is going to be of interest to our viewers, and that is on homeowners associations. Junilla, so people may have an idea of what a HOA is, but why don't you tell us about it and what do you look out for?
So an HOA just stands for Homeowners Association, or sometimes you'll hear Condominium Owner Association. It's essentially the body of people living together in a common interest community, and it's regulated by a condo declaration, which is just a document that sets forth the rules and regulations to govern the building or the community. Typically, the property will be managed by a board of directors, and that's going to have a president, a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer. Now, in a big city, you're going to have buildings of all different sizes. So typically, buildings with maybe 3 to 10 units will sort of manage their own affairs through the board of directors. If you get into a larger building, say maybe 10 units up to hundreds, they're typically going to have a property manager, and that is a separate entity or company that sort of runs the day-to-day business of the association.
So is failure to maintain common areas, is that a common problem that you deal with, and what do you see a lot of?
Well, I represent associations as well as homeowners. I would say that, common things that I see are issues with the neighbors, complaints about smells and sounds and things like that. And another thing that I see commonly is water intrusion. So coming in through the windows or the doors or staining in the ceiling. And oftentimes it's difficult to pinpoint where that water is coming from.
So let's say somebody has a water issue like you described. What should they do?
Well, the first thing that they should do is document it. Obviously, you want to take pictures, and you should follow whatever channels your association prescribes to report that. There are different rules and how things need to be reported, so make sure that you do what they ask to properly report it. If they don't respond or they don't take care of the issue, the next step would be to speak with an attorney. If you came to me, we would try to resolve it informally. Sometimes it's a matter of making a phone call or writing a letter. But if informal attempts to resolve the issue for you are not successful, we would go to court and you would sue the association to get them to fix the issue.
So do you need a lawyer to pursue this issue on your behalf, or is this something that our viewers could do on their own?
Sure. It just depends on your issue. I mean, if you're sort of just looking to get some money back and sue the association for your damages, you may be able to handle that yourself through small claims court. But if you're seeking more advanced relief, for example, trying to get the association to act and do something or stop doing something, you will need to go to Chancery Court to get what we call equitable relief, meaning, like I said, you're asking the association to do something or to stop doing something. And I think in that case, you would definitely want to proceed with an attorney.
And so Chancery Court is not something that you hear every day.
Right.
So what is Chancery Court dedicated to a certain type of relief or a certain type of case? What exactly is that?
Sure. Chancery Court is a court where we go seeking equitable relief. So equitable relief is looking for something different than just money compensation or monetary compensation. Equitable relief means you want the court to force somebody to start doing something or stop doing something. So, for example, in the fact pattern example that we're using, where you have perhaps a water intrusion to your unit stemming from the common elements, you may want to seek equitable relief from the association, meaning you would want to take the association to court to force them to come in and make repairs to your unit.
So we talked about noisy neighbors and we talked about water damage. Is there another topic that's really prevalent or hot right now?
Sure. A big thing that I see a lot of is decks. So if you live in a big city, there's a lot of 3 to 4 unit buildings, and they have these big elaborate decks on the back, and they are often in disrepair. There's a lot of news about the decks collapsing and things like that. So when you're purchasing in a condo, that's definitely something to look out for and make sure that it's well maintained. And in some cases, it may be considered individual to each unit, but typically they are common elements. So the association is responsible for maintaining those decks. And as you can imagine, in a situation where it's 2 or 3 or maybe 4 families responsible for the deck, they are very expensive. And so you get into a situation where you've got to get 3 or 4 people on board to come up with the money to pay for a fix to a deck. It can really create a lot of issues.
Okay. So Junilla, thanks again for taking time to meet with us today. Now it's time for your take on the law. Do you live in a city and are part of a condo or homeowners association? Have you ever had any issues with the common areas? Tell us about it in the comments below. Hey, thanks for checking out this video on homeowners associations and common rights. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. I can put you in touch with Junilla and we can try to answer any questions that you might have. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you.